Byron Bay used to be a paradise on earth. It felt different this time. We have visited Byron Bay and we have gone to SeaWorld on the Gold Coast. And today we will talk about if they are places worth visiting. A few days ago, our new friend Bill took us to Byron Bay. And that is a fantastic initiative from him. And of course we said yes to that. First, I want to hear what Magda has to say about that place.
Yes, that was my first time in Byron Bay. Who knows if the last, if we are coming back to Australia or not. Beautiful place, beautiful views. It was very nice to walk up to the lighthouse and just admire looking at the beaches and the beautiful nature from both sides and all around. So I have to admit that this is really pretty place to just look around and take some pictures. We took a bath at the beach and it was nice for us with the little one, as here in Gold Coast there are many waves. It's not easy to bath. It was quite okay down there, but it was also very crowded in the city, as for me.
Yeah, and then I will come with my opinions here, and I will first of all say that I have a small clip from a documentary I made when I started here in Australia, and it was about Byron Bay. We went there and we had a title, Discovering Byron Bay, I think. We wanted to understand Byron Bay and talk to a local, very nice old guy and his views on what Byron Bay was and what he thinks it's becoming. And then we talked to some what looked like rich people with champagne on the lighthouse little mountain there, and they talked about how it was for them on Byron Bay. And I will say that the predictions we had in that video has come true, is my opinion. It's fantastic nature still, and we will show you clips from it, and it's very, very beautiful. But in the city, my memory is that it was more and more laid back than Gold Coast. It still is, but it's more and more feel. I'm sure it's just more and more shops and a lot of cars everywhere. And I didn't get any laid back feeling walking around there at all. And I'm not sure. I want to hear you guys that have been there also and maybe been there many years ago and can compare. But in my memory, it is developed into what they feared. And it's the money coming in as Sunshine Coast also, and Gold Coast before that. And it just is getting more and more crowded with tourists and people with money. And that was sad to see and it didn't smell any marijuana. I don't know. They don't smoke on the street anymore. I don't know. I had an old friend, he asked me that actually. How was the smell? And it was just smell of cars, I guess. Yeah. So that was sad. But please share your opinions on the comments, and we want to hear what you have to say about that.
After our great trip to Byron Bay, the day after we decided to take our daughter to a place she will enjoy, and we drove to SeaWorld on Gold Coast.
Yeah, that is a no-brainer. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I knew there was some dolphins there, and I knew there were some different animals, and they have also now got some cool rides. So this is it must be a fantastic place for a kid, and it was for us also.
Yeah.
I will share some pictures from that soon here now, and it's amazing shows, the dolphins. And I said to my daughter, we need to see the seal, and she really didn't want to, because then she wanted to go on her new favorite ride, the bus.
Yes.
And we said, but the seal is funny, the seal is funny, and of course that became the favorite.
Yeah, she really enjoyed that one, and I think it's very cool made area with dolphins where you had before the show. You can really get close to the animal. Of course, you shouldn't touch them, and I don't think anyone dared to do that. So the people are respecting the rules. But the dolphins, they were coming very close to you. You'll see on the clips. So that was a great idea. I love dolphins. They are so cute.
Yeah. And since I have the role of being critical most of the times on these videos, I will say I don't know if there's any way of handling it, because it's the same problem in Norway. But the seagulls is really messing up the feeling of having a nice time at SeaWorld. I understand why they're there, but when you are in that area to eat, it was almost like you got attacked. One almost landed on my head or hit me in the head, and there was a lot of seagulls there. It's an open area, and it would be nice for the world, I think, to find any kind of a sound or something to scare them away, because that was not a nice feeling, and our daughter was actually quite afraid after a while.
That's true.
So that was the only downside to that place. You should go there in the weekdays if you have a possibility, and of course outside vacation. It was almost no queues for the rides. If you compare to every other Tivoli I have been to ever, or theme park.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was a lot of good space.
A few minutes waiting.
And we want you to comment, like, and please subscribe.